Hi, everyone. I'm Steve Adubato, and it is my honor to welcome Mr. Joe Lee, who is the Vice President and General Manager of NJ PBS, which is the public television station, New Jersey public television station in the PBS system. Joe, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
Joe, by way of background, let everyone know how you come to NJ PBS with your very extensive media background, both on the air and behind the scenes, leading, if you will.
Yeah, I have pretty much a 30-year history in public media, mostly in radio. Started out as talent. I was an overnight announcer, morning DJ in public radio in Baltimore, Maryland, my hometown. And then moved into managing content as a program director and content manager, and then eventually as general manager, moving to Syracuse, New York, where I ran AER at Syracuse University. So I've played a role as talent, as content manager, and as organization manager. So I got to understand the complexities of the organizations from multiple standpoints.
Talk about your vision for NJ PBS. And for those who do not know, in July of 2011, the public television station in New Jersey, then named NJTV, created. Our leader, the leader of the WNET group, Neil Shapiro, and a group of other folks decided that we should have public broadcasting. Name changes to NJPBS. But your vision for what NJPBS could and should be, Joe, talk about it, please.
Sure. The aspirational goal is to create an unparalleled public media experience for New Jersey. So what does that mean? As you know, we're sandwiched in between the markets of New York City and Philadelphia. There's PBS coming out of both of those cities. So what does that mean for New Jersey? We could mimic what they do. We don't want to do that. We want to create a public media experience across all platforms that is centered and focused on New Jersey. What does it mean to be in New Jersey? What does it mean to be a part of the state in these communities? How do issues impact and affect us? And so while we'll continue to serve folks with the great PBS programs that they've come to love, we're going to focus a lot of our local productions and acquisitions on New Jersey-centered content.
Well said. And also, if you want to check out what is going on in New Jersey every night, it's NJ Spotlight News. It's several times, but at 6 o'clock, if you will. Again at 7:30 and later into the evening. Also on the New York side for the region is Metro Focus, produced by our colleagues at WNET and WLAW. But let me try this. In terms of the news business, right? There's other news, and we're not here to be critical of those in commercial broadcasting, but there's a distinct difference between what NJPBS / the nightly news, NJ Spotlight News does, and many other, if you will, evening local commercial station broadcasts. What is that difference, Joe, in your view?
Sure. The old adage for commercial TV, and this could be dated, but if it bleeds, it leads, is not how public media approaches journalism. We're here to hold public officials accountable, get them on record. We're here to explore the issues that impact our communities and our state. We're here to convene and have conversation around issues. And most importantly, the way that I like to approach journalism is a solutions-based journalism approach. So not just reporting at people, but reporting with people, reporting with our communities, and helping them to solve the problems and issues that impact their communities.
So in a lot of ways, Joe, it isn't just what NJPBS puts on the air. It's also what is going on there. It's not even behind the scenes, but in terms of community engagement and involvement. Give us a couple of examples that makes that real for our audience.
There are opportunities to really engage people with the issues that are impacting their community. So a little bit of what I did in Syracuse when the headlines came out that Syracuse was the top ranked or the 10th poorest city in the nation, with the highest concentration of poverty among Blacks and Latinos. We chose as an organization and a news entity to explore that for the better part of a year. So we created a project called project called City Limits, and so it was a multi-platform project that was part convening, having roundtable discussions not only with agencies and newsmakers, but with people who were impacted, exploring all the aspects of how poverty affects our community, and bringing in other community partnerships and leaders and organizations to have these discussions. So public media can really play an important part in community convening, having these big conversations that hopefully lead to some solutions and resolutions. I see us doing that at NJPBS as well. Obviously some of the face-to-face stuff is going to be a while until things are better with COVID, but there are engagements and convenings that we can do virtually, like with what our public with what our parent company is doing with American Cities Rising. So that is bringing leaders together across the nation to talk about the issues that are affecting American cities and how we can look to innovation and what's being done to improve the economics of cities. So, as a place in a community convener, this is a important role that public media plays that we just don't see commercial entities in that space.
Joe, let me ask you this. We've been doing a series, Democracy at a Crossroads, for several years. Let's say well before January 6th, 2021. The role, from your perspective, the role of public media in supporting a healthy, vibrant democracy that is struggling mightily as we speak.
Yeah, as a part of the media landscape, very well that there are messages coming out from all over the place in media on all of our platforms, and it can be overwhelming to the American public. Public media has always been a space that people can trust to get the information that they need, synthesize that information, contextualize that information, and know that what they're receiving from us is fact-based journalism and information gathering so that they can make sense of what's happening around them. So avoiding these polarization situations that are happening in opinion-based media, people know that they can trust public media to get the information and make their own decisions based on that information.
Hey, Joe, I know you understand time issues in broadcasting better than most. I got 30 seconds or less. Real quick, diversity in public media, particularly at NJPBS, the importance of it, please.
Yeah, it's important that we make diversity, equity, and inclusion a foundation of what we do, not only internally, but externally. How our diverse population shows up on our screens and in our content, both in positive ways and meaningful ways. Making sure that people behind the scenes who are making these decisions are from diverse backgrounds and perspectives. So it has to be a part of the foundation of who we're going to be and what we're going to do if we're going to build not only community trust, but expand our audiences.
That is Joe Lee, who is the Vice President General Manager of NJPBS. I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to us. I wish you and the team at NJPBS all the best in the important work you're doing. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you for having me on this show. It's a pleasure and an honor.
Same here. I'm Steve Adubato, and more importantly, that is Joe Lee. We'll be back after this.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, University Hospital, NJM Insurance Group, the New Jersey Education Association, NJ Best, New Jersey's 529 College Savings Plan, the North Ward Center, PSE&G, PNC, Grow Up Great, and by Caldwell University. Promotional support provided by New Jersey Monthly and by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association.
How do you create change? By cultivating hope. And we see that every day. In the eyes of our preschoolers, in the souls of the seniors in our Adult Day program, in the minds of the students at Robert Treat Academy, a national Blue Ribbon School of Excellence, in the passion of children in our Youth Leadership Development Program, in our commitment to connections at the Center for Autism, and in the heart of our community, the North Ward Center, creating opportunities for equity, education, and growth.